Hey guys, I just want to go through one little kind of assignment thing that we're going to do here, and this is called a career outlook infographic. Okay, so I'm going to kind of buzz around a few things with you so that you can see it. I know that this image that you guys see right here would be rather what we're doing today, but obviously we're in a different world. So keep that in mind. I also probably wonder if you wouldn't rather be here as well, but obviously we know that that's not happening either. So keep that in mind. And again, I'm thinking about you guys as we change up as we go. So what I'm going to ask you to do here is check this out with me. So I'm going to jump over to this environment here. So you're going to get this assignment. It looks kind of like this. There might be a few things added to it by the time you get it. But it asks you to look up and research a career and find out this information. Now, you don't have to overdo this. I don't need a bunch of paragraphs on this. I simply want you to just think about the simplicity of this. So bullet points work really good for me. From that, then you're going to jump into this Canva info website. I'm going to jump over there right now. It looks like this. So from this, pretty straightforward. You're going to log in with Google. It's going to ask you for your school email, so just go ahead and jump in there. So I'm going to jump in with this one. And then you kind of got to just look around a little bit. So once you're in, you're going to be basically just looking around to see a template that might work. So I found this one. I actually dug down a little deeper. But there's all sorts of stuff in here, and you can kind of play around with the kind of theme you're looking for. So basically, let's say I pick this one. I'm going to modify this, obviously. So I'm going to start with my career, which is a surgical technician. Okay, so put that in there first. And what I kind of think I'm going to do is I'm going to move some stuff around here because I don't need all this. So I'm going to move this up. And I'm actually just going to delete a lot of this to begin with because I really don't need a lot of this material, although I might copy this text just because I think it has some neatness to it. But then I'm going to delete it all. So I'm just going to get rid of all this business in here. Sorry. And then I'm going to start adding stuff. So I'm going to go over here to text. I'm going to add a heading. I'm going to paste that font in there. Well, I'm just going to add a heading, and we're going to call this heading schooling. Okay, take schooling. I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to add another heading. We're going to call this one day in the life. And I'm going to reduce that down, put that over here. And I'm going to take one, I'm going to call it salary. Okay, so these are kind of my starting points here, right? And then from there, I'm going to start building in what goes underneath them. Now, it would be nice if these were all kind of the same size, so we may have to mess around a little bit with fonts and sizes. This looks like 60. This looks like 34. So you want these to be pretty consistent in what you're doing here. So again, you're gonna have to kind of play around with this a little bit, making sure you have the same fonts and that kind of thing. So open sans extra bold, we're gonna make this work. Okay, so now I have all my fonts similar, and I'm obviously gonna have to move some things around, and I might need to shrink the size just a little bit as we go. So I'm gonna put in some info. I'm gonna go back to my text option here. We're gonna add a subheading. Salary is 46K to 63K, pending area. Okay, I'm probably gonna shrink this up a bit just to make it fit better. Day in the life over here. I'm gonna add a subheading. We're gonna put this right underneath here, and we're going to say set up operating room and transport patients. Okay, and again, I'm going to have to tweak some stuff here as we go along because the size is going to be a little bit of a challenge, and I just want to make sure it all matches. Okay, schooling, we're going to do schooling, so I'm going to put that over here. So I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to say 2-year school. And can specify. Okay, so obviously this is all crazy looking, and we're gonna make this 16. Let me try to match this all up. 16. Okay, so now you can kind of see how I got it laid out. If I go back to the assignment, it does ask me to consider a bunch of other things in here as well. So day in the life pictures, I'm going to go out and get those images from the web. I can copy these guys right in here. And then the other thing you can do is if you go up here to photos and you type in medical or something specific to the area, you can bring in any of these photos. So the one thing I do want to call your attention to is if there's a $ by them, don't pick them. But if there's not, they're free. So let's say I just want this thing to come in here. So I'm going to bring this guy in. I'm going to shrink it up and I'm going to move it so it's kind of where it's not in the way of things, and just move it to where I can get it to work. So again, all these things are editable, and we just have to kind of figure out how to put them in the correct locations. Okay, so I'm trying to move this one, so bear with me here. I can't move this one, so I'm going to make it small, and I'm going to put it up here in the corner, and I'm going to make it work. Okay, so there's the move button. So now I'm going to move it, and then I'm going to make it bigger and make sure that you can see what I'm trying to get you to see. So that's idea. You add what you need to add. Again, try to add the things that are consistent in this expectation. Here's what you do when you're done. Really, really simple. Hit this button right here. Okay, it's going to download. If you bought anything that costs money in here, you're going to see something in here that asks you for money. You're going to want to go back in and delete that thing so you don't have to pay anything. Super important. When you're done, hit download. Okay, it's going to download it for you, and it just basically puts it into your Chromebook, into your desktop. Really, really simple. Then you're going to come over here to Google Classroom. I'll have a link posted here, and you're just going to link that image right back into it, and you should be good to go. Okay, so that's the idea behind this. Again, infographics are a little different than typing things, and I don't want this to get too boring as we're going through, because I know it's a little monotonous to a point, but we're going to look at 4 careers. This is just one of them. And again, I appreciate your work. If you have questions, you know what, shoot me an email, just give me a call or whatever, and I can work it out for you as we go along. Sound good? All right, take care.